everyone. I don't know, no one's probably going to be here right now, but if you watch this later, hey. I just needed to write, and might be noisy coming from my window, but I just needed to write, so I'm just doing some impromptu sprints to hold myself accountable. So that's what I'm going to do. At least for an hour, maybe 2. So I'm just going to be writing Project House of Stone. Pretty much. I'm still working between chapters 2 and 4 because there's like a lot of, I don't know, intricacies where I changed some things in chapter 3 and 4. So now I'm going back. So like chapters 2 and 4 are up in the air, but I'm writing them. Hello, good to see you. I don't know if anyone's going to be here or writing today, but hey, it's been a slow start to my day. And I needed to start writing or I wasn't going to do anything today. Oh my gosh, look at all these friends. Hello, everybody. Hello. So yeah, I have remnants of my morning coffee. I look tired. And I have some water. And yeah, I think I'll just be doing a couple 20-minute sprints. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, I'm working on chapters 2 through 4. I'm hoping to kind of finish those today. That way, for my next video that I'm going to make, I'm going to be able to actually like talk about some things going on in these chapters, which is exciting. So yeah, I think we're just going to dive right into the first sprint because I really need to write today. I don't know about anyone else, but I haven't really written a lot this week. I came back from a vacation. I went to Costa Rica, which was really exciting, but I've also been dealing with like a health issue for the past like month. So I feel like my content has been coming out a bit slower than I'd like. I think it's officially gone. You guys probably heard me talk about it if you watch my videos, but I've been having like an overactive histamine response from like a drug that I was taking that I was allergic to. And then it kind of just kept my body at like this overactive state. So I've been like puffy, red, hives all the time. Horrible. It's going away. So I'm hoping that it's going away for good. Yeah. So hopefully that goes well. Oh, I love line edits. I think it's the last time you're going to go through the novel. That's so exciting. Oh my gosh. That's really exciting. If you guys have been on my lives or watched my videos, like I said, you guys probably know I'm an editing girly. I hate the first draft. And that's what I'm doing right now. I think the first draft is like the hardest for me because I'm very in my head and I'm very much a perfectionist when it comes to the things I love, which sucks. So I very much like editing. It's just my brain is wired that way. So I'm kind of jealous that you're doing line edits because those are my favorite. But that is so fun that you get to actually print out your draft. Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys. Yes, I did have fun on my vacation. It's definitely a lot better. Like I felt so bad. I had to cancel and reschedule a couple podcast interviews just because like that day, like my face was like 10 times the size with like giant hives and like we film the interviews on camera and I was uncomfortable and I was so itchy and I was like, I'm not going to be a great interviewer because that's all I'm thinking about. So that's kind of the state I went into my vacation with. And flying did not help. I think flying really made it worse. But honestly, I think like the sun, salt air, the ocean, and unfortunately, the chlorine. Can you guys see this? My hair is bright green. And my hairstylist is going to kill me. I'm actually so scared to go see her. It still smells like chlorine. I've washed it a million times. But honestly, I think the chlorine actually helped my skin. So, you know. Okay, so you've realized you also like editing? Yay! Yeah, I think that's my problem with drafting as well. I've finished I have finished multiple manuscripts before and gone and edited them all. They probably will never see the light of day though, because they weren't great. But yeah, once I start the first draft, I have a hard time finishing because I just get so in my head. And all these other ideas come to me. I don't know, shiny penny syndrome, but I love that you're on the editing stage. Hello, Cody. Yeah, just a cute little pop-up sesh. I honestly was like rotting my morning away and it's already 2:30. I can't believe it. So we need to write, and going live on camera makes me accountable. Yay, and thank you. But first draft today, oh my gosh, just hit 100,000. That means like you're close, right? Like where are you in the first draft? Also, Meg, I see you comment on all my videos, which is so lovely. But remind me, what are you working on? I'd love to hear about your first draft because 100,000 is huge. That's such a huge accomplishment. Ooh, free writing draft 1. Oh my gosh. The chlorine did get me dry, but I'm just going to say it helped because my hives went away. I have to say it helps because, like, what other good comes from turning my hair bright green? Like, I've always been blonde. This is my natural hair color. I only dyed my hair a little bit a couple years ago red because I have like natural red highlights. So I used to dye my hair like more like strawberry blonde, but it comes out so fast. So this is like my normal hair color. So I've always gotten green hair when being in the pool. Oh my God, it's so green. But it happened after one dip in the pool. It was scary. I was like, how many chemicals are in here? To be fair, it's still my fault because I kept going in the pool because I love water. And if there's a pool, I'm going to be in it. So, or the ocean. I'm in the water. I'm not a beach person. Get me in the water instead. Yes, I need to actually look at that today. I was like, okay, I think we need to get a better shampoo. My friends are telling me to get like orange shampoo, like orange counteracts teal on the color wheel. And they make like orange shampoo to tone out this for blonde hair. I need to try something because again, like I think I just need to chop all my hair like really, really short. I guess since I've been making YouTube videos, I've had my hair pretty long, but I usually keep my hair really short. This is pretty long for me. In high school, I used to have my hair really long, but I think it's time for a chop because it's all green. Yeah, for sure. And I agree. I think it looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cute. Looks purposeful. And hello, Angel. Glad you can drop in. So exciting. My little impromptu Saturday stream. Oh my gosh, Cody, that's huge. Weren't you just on chapter 18? Like when we did our live stream on Thursday? That's insane. Oh my gosh, yay. Okay, wow. Good job. Ooh, urban fantasy romantasy. Okay, wait. This is why I was like, I feel like you mentioned that it was an urban fantasy on one of my videos because I'm also writing an urban fantasy. Love it. Oh my gosh, yeah, 30K more. That is going to be a cut down. That's okay though. That's okay. Honestly, I feel like overwriting is so much better than underwriting in the first draft, for sure. Okay, I'll hit you up about all my hair questions. I do not keep my hair very well, which is why I usually keep my hair short because I don't do a good job with my hair. You guys see in my videos, it's in a ponytail, it's in a bun. If my hair gets too long, I don't know what to do with it. I'd much rather have it short. Okay, in usual Michaela fashion, we've already chatted for almost 10 minutes. Sorry, y'all. I'm just such a yapper. Okay, so I definitely want to get into a sprint. Gosh, that's so funny. I was going to just share this Wonderspace screen and there's like an ad. Go away. I think I'm just going to do 20 minutes. I know some people do 25. I think that's like the traditional Pomodoro method, but for some reason, like 20 minutes helps me the most. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do a couple 20-minute sprints. On this, I don't know if I shared it. Yeah, I think it has screen audio. What did I do last time? I love this rain. We can have rain sounds and campfire sounds, which is super exciting. Ooh, maybe some birds? No, not the birds. Okay. And you hate any of the sounds?
Muted it. I'm also going to be listening to my book playlist because I usually listen to that when I write. So I'll also be listening to that. Oh, wait, let's handle these comments first. Yeah, I think I'm an overwriter as well. That's good. Oh my gosh, now down to 80K. Wow, that's really great. Ooh, a new romance novel. That makes a lot of sense. I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. Oh my gosh, you're 6 weeks away from your due date. That is so exciting. I have quite a lot of friends right now who are pregnant or have little ones, and props to you. I think I'm very nervous about having kids and maintaining writing because already it's such a precarious thing in my schedule. I think that's why this year I've been trying really hard to like nail it down because me and my husband have definitely been talking about kids. But mad props, like all my friends do such a great job of balancing their kids and their own hobbies. And so I definitely see it being doable. That's so exciting. 6 weeks away. Ah, girl, then you're good. At least your debut novel is out. Drop a link. Drop a link. I'll check it out. Love supporting my fellow authors. Okay. Let's start a sprint. I'm realizing how tired I am, guys. I threw my annual Halloween party last night, and I'm not a big drinker at all. I don't really drink. I had one drink. I made like a Halloween punch where you could add alcohol or not, because I don't drink and a lot of my friends don't drink or they're pregnant, like I said. And so yeah, I made a punch and I had one drink with alcohol in it, and I feel like absolute death. Like, I get hungover if I smell alcohol. I've just realized I think I just need to stop, like, all around. Like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it, and it's not fun. So, I'm trying to combat how I feel right now. Okay, let's start, because I could literally chat to a wall. I could talk all day if you let me. Okay, good luck, everybody. If you're writing with me, have a good time. Oh, wait, I totally lied. I need this to be spotlighted. There we go. Okay, we are done. I don't know if anyone saw my cat Mochi walk across my screen there at the end. Sorry if you guys see me lean down. My cat plays fetch, and when I sit here, that's all he wants to do is play fetch. So if you are writing, I'd love to know how you guys did. I got about 378 words, which is fine. Not my best in 20 minutes, but I will take it as my first sprint. So just warming up. 378 is nice. I guess we can just stop sharing this screen for now. Yeah, you want me to throw? I don't know if anyone else's cats play fetch, but my one cat Mochi is addicted to fetch. So, oh, honey, you decided to curl up on your chest, take a nap. We love using the sprint as a snuggle sesh. And if you know by now, on my writing streams, anything we do during a sprint is writing. So I count it. Okay, doing this last edit / draft, now to a place where I can confidently say I think my book is good. That's so exciting. That is such a good feeling when you can oh no, when you can look back at your writing and be like, okay, I actually like this. I think this is decent. That is so much fun. So much fun. 200-ish words. We love it. That's great. 215. Perfect. Yeah, guys, this is the first sprint, And again, any word is a word further, Any word we do. We're getting closer and closer to our goal. I'm really struggling with this chapter. I went back to chapter 2. Like I said, I'm working between chapters 2 and 4 because I changed some things from my outline. So I have to go back, and I don't know what it is about this chapter right now that just feels off. I might just say it's done and move on so I don't get down a rabbit hole, but we'll see. Yes, you are always going to be your biggest critic. If you can get you to like something, yeah, then you're on the right path. I completely agree. I think it takes a while for me to like what I'm writing, and it usually takes some distance. What's really funny is I've said this before, but I took quite a few years off of writing creatively and for fun. But in those couple of years, I journaled a lot more because I wasn't writing creatively. I actually just reread a lot of my journal entries from that time. And I was like, damn, this is good. I'm poetic in these journal entries. I think that just reminded me, yeah, space, time away from your own writing, not being so close to it. And then you come back and you're like, wait a second, I can write. This is actually decent. Hello, good to see you. Posted the link to my novel in the chat. Don't know if you saw it. I didn't. And I think I remember actually now that sometimes I think if viewers post links in the chat, it doesn't show up. But me as the moderator can post a link in the chat. But if you tell me the name of your debut or where to go to find it, please do, and I will go find it after this live stream. But now I do remember that. I said post a link, but I think viewers can't post links in the channel. Okay, we'll give it a couple more minutes of chattiness because I have to kind of time myself, or again, I could talk to myself for hours. I do. So being proud of your past work is always the best feeling. Yes. The worst feeling is when you're like, what was supposed to be happening here? Yes, that's so true. Not having insight into my own mind. Reading my past creative work, I have a hard time sometimes feeling like it sounds good. Maybe it's because I was a creative nonfiction major, so I wrote a lot more personal essays, and I do feel like my own personal writing voice is better than my fiction writing voice. So I'm coming to terms with it. I'm figuring it out. A Love Worth Protecting, available on Amazon. I will check it out. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Yeah, so my goal today is to get through chapters 1 through 4. And hopefully I can do that. Hopefully, we'll see. I wonder if I can show you guys. Yeah, so I think this is Sherry. I love my little animation though. Do you guys see how I'm like, how does she get here? I'm still doing brackets in my first in my first draft right now, which is totally fine. But this, I'm kind of obsessed with this. I've had this like for so long. I'm just excited I finally get to use it for my chapter headers. This like little snake, and I'm definitely naming every single chapter. So we have like chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, all named. Just fun. I don't know if I'm gonna keep them named, but I feel like it's fun. So voice is challenging. It is all vibes, and hard to understand technically. As a little self plug, I did just do my last 2 solo podcast episodes on voice, and I really like studying voice because it is all vibes, and it it is something that is a technical writing skill as much as just an inherent writing skill, which I think that's why voice and style is so interesting. Because like voice is just your personality on the page, but you can change your writing voice by manipulating the tone and all through word choice, which is why I love line edits. Um, because yeah, you have the ability to change your writing voice, change the tone. And in those podcast episodes, I use some examples, which is my favorite way to like look at any writing craft is to like actually look at book examples of voice. But I'm still finding my bearings. I think whenever I first draft something, voice and tone is all over the place, all over the place. And then once I go back through on a second draft, it's way easier to look at the tonal changes and be like, ooh, this chapter is like tonally off, right? Um, Way easier to do in the second draft, in my opinion. Okay, so it took me so long to get to this point. I wrote 4 versions of this book. Yeah, before writing a first draft. I feel it. That's like 126,000 words, which I see you corrected 226,000 words down here before I got draft 1 right. And that is so valid. I think I just talked about, I don't know if it was in a live stream or video. I don't know what I've said about my project anymore, but Project House of Stone, I wrote like 2 different times and then kind of killed those manuscripts. I've kept them. They're not good. But I've started and stopped this project so many times, and that's totally fine, until you get to a version that makes sense to draft. Bye, Cody. Bye, Cody. Lovely to see you. So cool that you did creative nonfiction. I love creative nonfiction. Had a writing class where I did that and it scared me. Yeah. Honestly, creative nonfiction is, I don't know. I love it. I have a soft spot for it, but it is very vulnerable because it's usually that to a personal essay, there's some aspect about yourself coming through, even if you're commenting on the world or talking about something in history or current events, pop culture related. Creative nonfiction is usually also something about yourself, and it's very vulnerable. And I think it was probably out of all my writing classes, the nonfiction classes were the worst to get feedback on, like the absolute worst. Like the fiction ones were easier, like rip apart my fiction, that's fine. But nonfiction, I was like, oof, this is like me that you're shredding. Bye, Angel. Yes, definitely get some rest. See you around. Love it. And thank you. I love header art too. Header art needs to come back. Chapter names need to come back. I know that Cody left, but I'll answer this before we head into the next sprint. What's your favorite thing about House of Stone, which is my current project? Um, this is such a good question. Character, plot element, setting, scene. Hmm. I love so many things about this project, which is why I've stuck with it, even though it's taken a while to get here. Um, Gosh, what is my favorite part? I don't know. I like the things I'm trying to say with this piece. Um, I mentioned like a list of things I'm trying to say in my last podcast episode with Project House of Stone. And there's a lot of like underlying themes and what I want my readers to think about. And I think that's my favorite part because the world building and the characters and the plot elements, all the magic is a very cool vessel to bring those to life. So, for example, like the main theme of the story is how far someone will go to feel like they belong. And that's very cool to explore in the context of my main character joining a cult to try to get her best friend out of it. Um, and then there's the very complicated mafia like family of the Novaks. And so I like what I'm trying to say with the vessels that I have, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made any sense, but we'll hope it did. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I got about 378 words. I'm going to put this in my little tracker that I have. 378 words for the first sprint. And then I guess let's go into our second sprint so we can get some words in, more words in. It's funny, I'm a part of a Discord channel and it's like a sprint day for the Discord too. So people are doing sprints in there, which is really fun. Bye, Ari. Thanks for hopping in. And thanks. I'm excited too. Can't wait. Hopefully for it to be finished by the end of this year. And that way I can actually start revising and looking for beta readers, which I'm probably going to open up to everyone on the channel, which is a little nerve-wracking. But I would like a range of opinion on this book, which is super exciting. Actually, I know there's really only a few of you here, but something that exciting that happened is I hit 5,000 subscribers, which is really, really exciting. And I've kind of been speechless about it because I realized I hit that like this morning. Um, and it's kind of insane how many people are perceiving my channel. Um, but I want to do something exciting to, you know, celebrate 5,000. And one option on my Instagram that people voted for was like editing viewers' work. So I'm probably going to do like a call for that as well because I think that would be fun. Oh, you've already been on my mind to beta since I know you and I are fantasy contemporary girlies, and this book straddles the line. And thank you. I'm very excited. I haven't been able to like put my thoughts into words yet because again, I've been very sleepy today and I noticed it this morning. And I honestly did not think I was going to hit 5K like at all ever. So I'm very shocked. I'm very, very shocked. Oh, and thank you. That's very nice. Thanks. I have I don't know, it's so funny because I feel like I perceive my channel a lot differently, obviously than people who are watching it, but I feel like I've yet to find my niche of videos. Um, I feel like writing vlogs are what do the best in the writer tube, author tube space. I've talked about it on some of my videos and lives, but I'm not the best vlogger. I'm not the best at like filming my daily life and living it at the same time. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out like what video, I don't know, makes sense for my channel, like what niche content makes sense for my channel. I really like doing writing craft content. And I don't really care if my videos do well or not, as long as there's a group of people who are finding it useful and feel like it's helping them, I'm going to continue making content, like, regardless. It would be cool though to make this a part of a career for me that I'm trying to kind of map out. But um, we'll see. We'll see. Because I don't really love the idea of taking a ton of brand deals. That could be a whole video on it in and of itself. It's very weird. I think I'd rather just make good content and I guess get supported by the content and the viewers of the content than promoting things that I don't use and like asking my viewers to buy a ton of things that I don't believe in, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I've been having like a weird content creation crisis lately with, do I want to go full steam ahead and make this into like an arm of a writing career or just kind of chill? So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely want to pull some beta readers from the community because there's so many of you that, are writing in a similar genre to me and have watched my content, so I kind of understand the project. So that would be pretty cool. And I just would like to like build a community a little bit more, like with everyone. Um, I love your more info teaching videos. Yeah. Thank you. Those are my favorite videos to make. They take a long time to make. And I think that also is what's been happening is I'm kind of in like a content deficit right now because of all the health things that happened. It like I caught up with all the content that I pre-filmed. So now I'm like filming as every week comes up and that's like way too stressful. So I need to get back to a point where I have content ready. And I really like doing the info teaching videos as well. I guess I just never want to come off as someone who like has all the answers because I don't. I don't want to be someone who's like, come to me and like, I have the number one way to write your book because that's just not how writing works. But I really like the writing craft. I'd like to do more like breaking down actual like books and examples, more just like literary analysis stuff. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. The like lessons and analysis are like my favorite. I think that's why on the most recent episode of the podcast, I broke down like two short stories with voice, and that was so fun to me. So I'd like to do more of that. I think it would be so fun. I don't even know if I could do it on YouTube, but like I'd love to like run like a live class where like it can be recorded, but like, like people read a book and then we go chapter by chapter analysis, just because that is exciting to me. But we'll see one day. I have no idea if people would even be interested in that, but I would find it fun. Yeah, I do think most people know no one has all the answers. But yay, that's all I care about truly. Like at the end of the day, if I'm making content that people resonate with and feel like are helpful, then I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I love chatting about writing. So I'm glad that it's helped you in some ways you've been revising. That's awesome. Oh, that's so fun. Oh my gosh, the subplots. I have so many subplots in House of Stone right now too, and it absolutely destroyed me. So the video that I made on subplots also was needed for me. I needed help. And I did a lot of research on subplots to help with that video because I was like, I need help for sure. Yeah, see, a read along and analysis does sound like fun. I think I just have to find like a handful of people who would find it interesting. Maybe I'll just do it regardless. I don't know. I like reading and analyzing, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, I think for my 5,000 subscriber extravaganza, I think I was gonna do either probably like a live stream celebration with some friends. What is my cat doing? Budgie. He's trying to get the thread on the. I still have thread. What am I saying? Thread. Threaded through the needle of my sewing machine back there, and I can see him. Yeah, you're trying to take my string. That's not nice. Sorry, just got distracted. But I would like to do like some live stream with friends maybe for a 5K celebration. Some people on Instagram voted for a Q&A, but um I feel like I could do that on like the live stream if we wanted. Or maybe I just ask for questions. I don't know. I don't even know if you guys what you guys want to know. Um, but I do think it'd be fun to edit people's works because people voted for that, and I think that would be a lot of fun. It is a classic cat move. This my office is kind of like chaotic, and there's just a lot of crafts stored everywhere, and Mochi digs them all out. I need an office refresh as well. I'd like to start using this desk for writing back here, maybe filming. So I need a little bit of an office refresh, but okay. Again, I could chat for hours, so let's do another sprint. Okay. We have the ambiance set, rain sounds, fire crackling. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. If it bothers you, you can turn it off. I'm also actually listening to a lo-fi Harry Potter video, which is a lot of fun. I love like the ambiance Harry Potter videos because I just love the soundtrack. I think I can post a link, I'm unsure. But if you see that link, I just posted what I'm listening to. Okay. I'm gonna actually do 25 minutes for this next one. No, I completely lied to you. 25 just feels like a lot. Let's just do another 20. Okay. Good luck, everybody. Wow. Okay. How did everyone do? That again wasn't the best for me. What is that sound? Oh, sorry. I have my headphones on. I was like, what is that? I think it's a neighbor just mowing their lawn. It just sounds so loud. Um, I got 380 words that time. But if you guys saw me talking to myself, I got hung up on this one action. I don't know. I wrote down what did I write? Where'd it go? Their brows turned down. Like eyebrows, like turning down, turning down. And I don't think that's a correct sentence or makes sense. So I got stuck on that. I was like looking up eyebrow expressions and looking at myself in the camera of going like, like eyebrows turned down. That doesn't make sense because they don't, when I'm going like this, they don't like turn down. I don't know. So I flagged that for a future Michaela problem. So I don't completely lose my mind over it. That is funny. I'm actually in your room right now, listening to your dog bark. No, it's my neighbor, definitely mowing the lawn, but I have like windows open, so it just sounds so loud in my house. 378. Congrats. Look at you and I, just 2 words off. And yay, got to the chapter I was working on. Look at us making some Saturday afternoon progress. Oh, yay, Renee. Good to see you again. Welcome. Yeah, see, eyebrows furrowed. Like, that's what they do. Guys, we're going to really look at my eyebrows, which don't because I don't do anything to my eyebrows. Actually, right now I'm growing them out to get them shaped because I was an overplucker in high school. So we're trying to remedy that. But yeah, like a furrowed brow. But see, and this is what I think too. I feel like I use furrow so much. So I was trying to find a different way to say it. But brows turned down also doesn't make sense. I don't know. Again, that's line editing Michaela's problem. Right now, their eyebrows are turned down. And I'm okay with that, I guess, even though that took like 3 to 5 minutes of me looking up people's eyebrow expressions and not writing. Yeah, I use eyebrows furrowed a lot. So I didn't want to use it again. But eyebrows turned down isn't right. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so those 380 words. So then let's see, what have I done total? 758, is that right? Yeah, wow. Look at me go. Okay, 380 words for my second sprint. I think I'm about to be finished with chapter 2 officially since I changed some things. Then I can move back on to chapter 4, hopefully. Yay! Welcome, Michelle. Good to see you again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna write. I've only been on for like an hour 20. Wow, my gosh. We've been talking a lot. This is my problem with writing lives. Guys, none of you could even be here. None of you could be here and I could sit and just chat to a wall. It's a problem. So like writing lives are so helpful for me because they keep me accountable and I'm sitting here and writing, but then I'm also such a yapper. And if you guys say something in the chat, I'm going to talk about it. Okay, brows scrunched. I know bodily movements are so hard, and I feel like I lean on the same bodily movement descriptions. Again, that's line editing, Michaela problem. Like, I'll have to figure that out. One of the funniest things to me about line editing and revising my own work is when you start to realize the words and phrases you use over and over again. It's embarrassing and hilarious at the same time. So I'm trying to kind of avoid that in this first draft. It's not going well though. And that's how we got eyebrows turned down. Oh well. Oh my gosh, grin. Yes. Trying to find more interesting and unique ways of expressing things. Yeah, it's hard. It is so hard. Whole list of words and phrases on a chalkboard. Ooh, that's smart. For some reason, I use turns out and last thing. That is like those are random phrases. I feel like honestly, kudos to you because I feel like most people reuse like the same type of words over and over again. I haven't seen that one, even when I was an editor. That's kind of funny. Oh, like that's the last thing I want. How many last things? That's funny. Okay, I can see that now. Like characters constantly saying that's the last thing I want. That's really funny. I wonder what my phrase is going to be for this draft because it changes with every book what my phrase is. Um, what's funny is I was thinking of doing a video on this, something that I forgot about writing. That's hard since I'm writing an urban fantasy, is how difficult it is to world build um, seamlessly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like to world build in my first couple of chapters without the reader being like, what the hecky heck is going on? And also like info dumping. I the last manuscript I guess that I fully wrote was a contemporary, so now I'm back into fantasy and I read a lot of fantasy, but I guess I realized it's not something I consciously am looking for at how the author is blending in world building, which again also happens way better in the edits, but holy cow, these first few chapters, I'm like, how do I explain this to my reader? It's like I know everything that's going on. I understand the world. And I changed this draft I changed this big key piece of information in my zero draft where my main character now is not new to the world. She's coming back into this world, but she's always been a part of it. So you still as a reader are following her going back into it, but she knows everything as well. No one's explaining it to her. So and now that it's told from her point of view, because I was originally going to write it in third person, now it's in first person, I'm having a really hard time with world building seamlessly in the first couple of chapters. So I actually might write that down. I wonder if like that would be an interesting video for people. Really just me talking about the struggles of that. But I can also like look at examples from other fantasy books or anything that has world building. I still am working on my contemporary world building video because I think world building is for every video. But I'm struggling with that at the moment. Okay, where were we? I think I actually wrote something along the lines of eyebrows came together. I actually liked that the other day before I didn't want to write. Yeah, furrowed always comes to mind with eyebrows. I like the eyebrows came together. I think that's better than my eyebrows turned down, for sure. Maybe the eyebrows should drop off the face. Fell from my face like two caterpillars jumping off a tree. I like that. Yeah, I think I talked about it in I had a live on Thursday with Becca, Cody, and Ari, which Cody and Ari were just in the chat before they had to go. But I write both fantasy and contemporary, and I usually do what Ari it seems like also does, and what I do in my reading is if I write a fantasy, then I will write a contemporary afterwards, and that's how I read as well. Like I will read a fantasy and then I need to read like literary fiction to cleanse my palate. So I like writing both. I like writing a lot of genres and I'd like to write more. Um, I would love to still put out this world building, a contemporary novel one, because I think, I don't know, I feel like sometimes we overlook how much world building goes into contemporary novels, and it's still quite a bit. Okay, I think the fun part, well, I think part of the fun with reading fantasy is discovering the world building as you read. Yeah, like it's part of what keeps me hooked. So maybe it's not good to give it all the way in the beginning. No, exactly. I think that's what I'm struggling with is like how it's like the balance of that, right? It's how much do I tell you? How much do I show you? Because obviously show versus tell, but there are times when you need to tell, times when you should be showing. And then how much should be kept for the later chapters as she gets further into the world. Because you do want that like great balance of, ooh, I'm intrigued by this. What does this mean? Instead of having like utter confusion where then the reader's kind of over it and just like shuts the book, which I've done because I'm a DNFer always. So yeah, I'm struggling with that. I've definitely been making a lot of notes in like the margins, like the inspector portion of Scrivener, of basically like when you revise this, like we need to look at world building. I need to do a whole world building edit so hard to make sure that the information does flow normally. But I agree. I think that's the best part of reading fantasy is like when I don't even notice that the author is world building. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't notice that they're telling me anything because I'm so immersed in it and I'm so intrigued and it just kind of naturally comes to me. I'm having a hard time writing that right now. Hello, good to see you. I like browsing it together as well. Yeah, I like that one too. Yeah, eyebrows are hard. I've now just realized that since I took like 5 minutes in the last sprint to talk about eyebrows. I'm gonna write these down in a comment to remind myself, future Michaela, for editing my eyebrows turned down comment of what I can say eyebrows are doing. Yeah, world building and magic systems definitely feel like never-ending brainstorming. I feel like I finally have this world building and magic system down. Um, it's not 100% complete, but I think I discover a lot of it as well writing the first draft. So I'm excited to see that. For my contemporary, is your world building process different? I definitely think it's different. Like it still isn't as intense as world building for a fantasy book or sci-fi, anything like that, speculative fiction. But I still take the time to world build. And when I think about world building for contemporary books, like it's a lot of setting and a lot of like lore and background to every character. Every character's relationships with each other needs to have a good solidified background. Um, I think just having like distinct settings is very helpful because even if you think of contemporary media that we consume, one I always go to is Gilmore Girls because I love Gilmore Girls. People are obsessed with Stars Hollow. Obsessed because it's this like cute, quaint town that has such unique personality. Like that is a good example of contemporary world building. And not everything needs to be cute, quaint towns, but I do feel like setting plays a huge part in world building contemporary. And I'm doing kind of both of that for House of Stone because it's an urban fantasy set in Cleveland. I live in Cleveland. Um, so I'm using a lot of real world settings and adding that layer of magic world building on it, but I'm using real places in Cleveland. I think I was actually asked this on my Instagram the other day of what's your favorite scene in the book? And my favorite scene is this battle in a cemetery. And I just want you guys to see this cemetery in Cleveland. It's called Lakeview Cemetery. Just did like a Google search. It's gorgeous. I come and walk in this cemetery all the time. It's huge. Like all of this green, everything you can see in that like image is all the cemetery and it has huge, like it has a lake. Let's try to zoom in here. Taking you guys on an adventure of what's in Cleveland. There's like a huge lake. This is James A. Garfield Memorial. It's like this huge tower, castle-like structure. This is the inside. It's gorgeous. And there's a ton of these massive mausoleums. And this plays like a huge role in my story of these like old family mausoleums. And the Schofields are a very famous family in Cleveland. There's like weeping angels. It's gorgeous. Like, look at that. It's insane. So I'm obsessed with the Lakeview Cemetery. Um, and it's definitely going to be in my book. So it's kind of fun. I'm doing like obviously some contemporary world building as well as fantasy magic systems, but I'm really trying to make sure that like place comes to life. So yeah, you see like this is like the weeping angels, these mausoleums, like look at this. It's crazy. Yeah. So anyways, that's my tangent. Well, my current book is just in a town like where I live. My next is going to be a reform school. So lots of world building there in comparison. Yeah. So, like, world building, it's setting, it's relationships, it's the lore of wherever you are. And I think it's robust no matter what genre. See, thinking Gilmore Girls. I feel like that's just a good example of like a contemporary world that people are really obsessed with and think about and gravitate towards. Yeah, my Instagram is Mick is writing, I think, because I think Mick Writes was taken, sadly. This is it. Mick is writing. Go ahead, follow me there. I'm not great at Instagram. I'm not great at social media in general. But I do post on my stories and always feel free to DM me to chat. Love chatting. Yeah, I love it when cities feel like characters as well. Like Gotham, yeah, that's a good example as well. I feel like setting is a very important piece of writing that gets overlooked sometimes. So I think setting should be a character in and of itself. Yeah, I do make mood boards. I don't really make them for each place, scenes or characters. I really just have like a generic mood board. I started, let's see. I started the mood board for House of Stone 4 years ago. That's how long this idea has been in my head. And I'll just share this. I think I have this linked on my page too. You guys can go look at my mood board. I started to try to do like pins for each characters, but you can see I didn't really get far. Zoya has the most. I love Zoya. Um, it's really just like general vibes. I mean, I've been putting stuff in here for years. So it's nothing crazy. It's all vibes. And I think some correlate to like actual scenes in the book more than others. But what's really fun is like in my first video idea to plot, I talked about how a lot of the images and reference to this book has subconsciously found its way into my story in some way or other. So that's kind of fun without me like intentionally trying to think about it. And then there's some stuff I intentionally want, like this teapot with spider legs is in my book because I love it. So yeah, I just make a general mood board. I usually have it open when I'm writing. When I'm in Scrivener and do like the full page, I put like a mood board as the background. So that's helpful too. But I think what's best for me is playlists. I always make a playlist of my book before I write it, and that helps the most for getting into the mood to write it. Okay. Are we ready for another sprint? I'm ready. I want to finish this chapter. That would be amazing if I could finish it. Kind of coming to like the climax of this chapter again because I just changed it. So gotta get in the headspace. Writing romance, but want to be like a fictional, yeah, medium-sized city. Yeah, and I still think like world building still important no matter the size of the city, right? Like Cleveland is where my book is set. That is more or less a medium-sized city. But there's so much history and lore to that because Cleveland used to be one of the biggest cities on this coast. We were booming with industry. This whole like Rust Belt area of the country was with the steel industry. And now there are so many pockets of Cleveland that are abandoned and desolate because we were like made for so many more people than we have now. And that is also a part of our history and our lore and plays a part in this story, right? So, no matter the size of the city, um, just understanding the history of the setting that your characters are in and how it affects their day to day lives and how it affects their world, I think is important. I'm trying to do that justice in this book. I know I won't get it right the first draft, though. Um, when I revise, I do like themed revisions. So I think the first one I'll do is world building. Second would be like characters, right? So just every time I reread it and have notes and change things, it would be like themed. That's how I find it the most helpful. Okay, let's do another sprint. We got rain sounds, we got fire sounds, and we got another 20 minutes on the board. I actually might turn my camera off too. I'm gonna go run and grab another little drink. But let's start. Good luck, everyone.
If you can hear me now, I don't know what happened. Oh, I think my headphones died. I don't know. Let me know if you can hear me now. Yes, no, maybe not. I did hear my headphones die, and I think it was using my headphones as a speaker. So I think that's what happened here. But perfect. Okay. Yes, I think that's what happened. I did hear my headphones die in the middle of the sprint. But what I was saying is I finished, I wrote the ending of chapter 2, which I feel good about. That's what the goal was today. I am going back though right now. Silly me, because if you guys saw when I shared my screen, I have like brackets. Where is it? I'll just show you. I have these like brackets of how do we transition from the beginning of my chapter to the ending of my chapter. And so I did start working on that because I just want to try not to do that in this draft too much. So I don't know. I just did that a little bit as well. So if I can get that done, great. If I can't, it's okay, because then I can just go back to chapter 4 and feel like I'm making progress. How did everyone else do? Hopefully you guys did well. Again, any word is progress. I also got tea. That took like 2 minutes of my sprint. I got some lovely warm tea. And now I'm trying to debate if I do one more sprint. Hi, Mo. That was loud. Okay. Trying to get out? That looks so strange. You're bipedal right now behind me. Mochi thinks he wants to be an outdoor cat, but like he's the most spoiled cat alive. So it's very funny to me because I don't think he'd last a day in the outdoors. Oh my God. Look at the green. Guys, should I just permanently dye the ends of my hair green? It's kind of a vibe, like we said. Kind of like it. It's also made my hair wavier, which my hair is usually very straight. I don't know. Chlorine is strange. 226. Way to go. That's so exciting. I feel like we've all been making like really good progress today, which I love to see it. Some good Saturday sprints. I will take it. Wrote 330 words. That's a lot. That's so much. That's so great. 330 words in 20 minutes is a lot. I feel like my normal pace, I have 2 different paces. If I'm struggling through a chapter, I think my normal pace is like on average 350 in 20 minutes. And if I'm not struggling in a chapter, if it's a chapter that like magically is flowing, I can do like 500 words in 20 minutes. But the flowing is so rare. I'm mostly struggling. So I'll probably live between the 200 to 400 mark. Yeah, pretty much. how do I go about making my writing project playlist? What's funny is, so when ideas come to me, I think I talk about this in my first video, which, guys, my first video has 51,000 views. I hate it. That's a stadium of people. That's how many people looked at my face. It's so scary, but kind of cool and crazy at the same time. I talk about in that video, though, that my ideas come to me in very like abstract forms. So I really have a whole process of taking my idea to a plot. And one way that my ideas come to me is through music that I listen to. So a lot of like music inspires me. So I usually start making a project playlist way before the idea is even an idea. I usually start with a song. And you can see here, let me actually show you guys my playlist. Share my screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. Spotify, kind of. I don't know if it's like a little bit blurry, but this is, so I have like 47 songs. Wow, almost 3 hours. But the first song is Cringe by Matt Mason. And the first 3 songs were the songs that I was listening to so much a couple years ago on repeat all the time. And the 3 of these formed the basic premise of House of Stone, which is pretty cool. Mochi, can you stop ripping up my carpet? Thanks. Cringe is a lot of the main characters' like romance relationship. They go from reluctant, what is it? Not helper, reluctant. Oh my gosh, what is the word? They like make a pact to work together? What is that word? Reluctant allies? I think that's what I'm trying to say. 2 lovers, 2 enemies. And Cringe by Matt Mason really helped with that. And then Achilles Come Down by Gang of Youths gave a lot of inspo for a big plot element. And then Harmony Hall gave a lot of inspo for the cult that I write in the book. And then all of these elements kind of floated together. And what I like to do is when I'm inspired by music, I then look, I have like a running note in my phone of things that I like. I don't know, things that I like in media. And I had like a list of like cults, mafia, magic, all this stuff. And I just threw it all into this and created my idea. So music always comes first for me, which is kind of strange. But then I just add. I like to look up other people's like work in progress stuff on Spotify. So I'll look up like Whip to see if anyone else has other like Whip playlists, because usually other people are like creating really awesome like moody playlists for their stories, and I'll like take songs from there. Or I do use like the Spotify feature of I guess you can't anymore. You used to be able to make a radio from your playlist. Now it's like you can turn on or off the auto recommendations, and that helps a lot to just, I don't know, create music like this. And then I add anything that feels like it fits the vibe. And sometimes I'll add something, then take it out. It's a very chaotic process, but music comes first. You guys can see my other work in progresses that I have playlists for. But it's a lot of fun. What app or website do you use to write? I use a couple. I use Milanote and Notion for like planning and organizing. But at the end of the day, I mostly use pen and paper. And then to write, I do use Scrivener. I don't use Scrivener to plan. I know that a lot of people like it to plan, have everything in one place. But I like Scrivener just to write. And I really love Scrivener's editing features. So what's nice is like when you edit on Scrivener, I don't know if I can show you guys. I don't want to like mess anything up, but when you edit on Scrivener, basically it creates like different versions of your work. So you have like version 1, like, how am I describing this? When you send like a Google Doc of your work to someone, and if they delete a sentence, it keeps the sentence, but it like shows the comment of what they want to change the sentence to. Like, this person changed that. Scrivener does that with your own editing docs. So anytime you're in editing mode for Scrivener, it keeps your original work while allowing you to like delete and add things without actually affecting your first draft, which is very cool. And you can do rounds and rounds of that, which I love. So I really like Scrivener for that. I also like Scrivener for, just go into my little Scrivener file. So I don't do a lot of like planning. I have some stuff here, but I like it for this. I don't know if it's going to show. I don't know if it just showed that it was in wide mode. I can't tell because then I can't see my screen. I don't know if it's going to show if I'm in live wide mode, so I guess let me know. But you can like change this width right here, and you can like move the position. So this is like my mood board with all my characters. So when I'm talking about a specific character, I will like highlight them and talk and, write. And then I really like this focus. I was actually writing like this, but I like this focus feature. I don't know why it's off. Not going to show. But when you're writing, I can focus on just a line. So like everything goes dim, or focus on a sentence, focus on a paragraph. That's so helpful. So my brain doesn't go back and like edit. So I like that as well. I don't know if you guys saw any of that because I was in widescreen mode, but hopefully you did. But yeah, I like Scrivener mostly for writing. I don't do any of my planning in it because I'm going to be honest, it's not aesthetic or cute. And when I'm in planning and brainstorming mode, I want everything to look cute and aesthetic and lovely. So I do a lot of that in Notion and Milano. Let me see if I can pull up my Notion page to show you. No, I haven't been using this writing session tracker. I've actually been doing that in Scrivener, which is funny, but all of my planning is in here. So all the musings, plotting, characters, all those pages are filled with stuff in my little playlist. So when I was planning, I was using Notion quite a bit, and it looks aesthetic and cute, and it keeps everything organized. So if I need to go back to something, I can just open up one of these pages, which is really nice. Yeah, I used to, that's why there's like the tracker on my page. I used to track writing in Notion. Right now I'm tracking it in Scrivener, but I'm also tracking it. So I joined a Discord for the months of October and November, and I'm tracking my writing through them because it's like a competition to try to hit your goal. So that is where I'm tracking at the moment. And I don't like to track in multiple places because it confuses me. I also love the comment feature. Oh my gosh, I just dropped my little T thing in Notion. So not in Notion, sorry, in Scrivener. Let me show you guys again. If you read fast enough, you can read my whole book. So this is like a comment that I made here because I noticed when I was rereading, because this is my editing brain already coming to play, because I used to be a freelance like developmental editor. So this is just how my brain works. I walk my whiskey to the back room. I wrote a comment being like, okay, she has a whiskey in her hand, right? And I need to remember that when trying to find this place. So she needs to ditch this whiskey at some point. What I like is like the comments. If I don't have the comment up, it doesn't show that I had a comment there, which is really nice because I feel like in Google Docs, it's so distracting. So I can make anything a comment. I just will highlight and then I just hit this comment button and I can, write whatever. But I like that it's hidden. So you only need to look at the comments when you want to. And then this is like the inspector part. wow, I can't talk, that I've talked about on this live and other videos of like, this is my synopsis of what's going on and other notes. Hi, Mochi. And then this is a ton of notes from my zero draft that I wanted to make sure got into this chapter. So I put it in here, which is really, really nice. There's also so many other things. So I can drag in, and any of you can if you get this, documents or other files to bookmark. So like if I needed to research something for this chapter, you can like put it in there. You can also tag every document that you have in here for the metadata, and also add in snapshots, which is really nice. All these features are insane. I mostly use my notes and my comments. Bookmarks will be used if I need it, but right now I don't need anything external. So it's very fun. I like Scrivener a lot, and there's so much that I don't even do. Like there's so much to Scrivener that I don't use. So I know I still have a lot to learn, but I mostly use it to write. Planning, pen to paper, my crazy note card system, and Notion. And then Milanote for like aesthetic planning. I think I've talked about Milanote in like my first video. I get like a comment almost every single day about me. What is that you're using? It's Milanote. I really like it for brainstorming boards. I'm just showing you guys everything. Look at this. Look at this. So this is just a portion of a brainstorming board that I have. Let me see. Brainstorming. I have a couple brainstorming documents. So this was like me combing through my Pinterest board and grouping things together, right? So right now I'm writing a chapter about the row house. So this is where I'm at. Can I zoom in further? I think so. So this is the chapter that I was just writing. She's going into this like basically speakeasy type place for magic users and magic buyers. And these are all the pins that I had on my Pinterest board that like relate to this location. So I like to like use Milanote as kind of my, I don't know, visual mapping. You know, there's tattoo magic in this book. I don't think I've talked about that yet on the channel. You guys are getting our exclusive look. So there's like a ton of images of that on my Pinterest board. There's a whole thing with eyes. There's my Medusa character. So yeah, this board is huge, and I have multiple brainstorming boards, but this is how I kind of group together my thoughts. Like I just randomly pin things and then I try to group them together to make sense for the story. So yeah, I use a lot of things. I probably should use less because then it won't all be scattered across everything, but it works for me. Yeah, definitely do. I mean, Scrivener is expensive. I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean, it costs money. I officially did it because it's a one-time purchase and I liked that. So I only had to buy it once. I don't have to buy it again. And I can use it cross devices. So when you buy it, you get like a code that's like your license code. And so I have it on my desktop and I have it on my laptop. So like when I went to Costa Rica, I brought it and I have my whole project there as well, which is nice. And I know you can do that in Google Docs. The features of Scrivener are made for writers, obviously. There's also so many other platforms that I would love to try out. I've heard really good things about like Campfire. I know a lot of friends who use that. So who knows? I may change it, but right now Scrivener works for me. And then I use my AlphaSmart. I actually don't know where my AlphaSmart is right now. I was just using it the other day. My giant calculator that I take when I'm not working at home and I need to be off a screen to write, which I probably will use later today because I'm probably going to write more a little bit later. But yeah. And hey, CK. Yeah, another vote for Scrivener. It's a great one. I really like it. Okay. I was debating on if I was going to do another sprint, but I feel like since I wrote the ending to chapter 2, like finished it, I think I'm feeling good to stop for today. Yeah, I think I'm feeling good. Plus, I know that it's almost 5 here in Ohio, and my husband wants to play tennis. So we probably will go play tennis with some friends. We're really into tennis right now. I never played tennis until this year, but it's a lot of fun. I'm not great, but it's fun to play. So I do want to get outside because it's gorgeous out. So that's probably what I will do. Renee said that she bought it for a one-time fee. Yeah. Yeah, I like that it saves on iCloud. You can work offline, which is also really nice. But yeah, that's okay. It was an impromptu stream. Wasn't planned. Thanks to everyone who did come because this was great. Honestly, we had way more people here than I thought we would for some writing sprints. Hoping to try to, I don't know, schedule more writing sprints in my content calendar because they help me a lot and I know people always ask for them. So I don't know, they hold me accountable. Like I got in total, let's see how many words in total I wrote today. I wrote like about 1,000 words. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that. So love that. This is a good point as well. If any of you guys are thinking about Scrivener, the trial period is long. I do like that they have a trial period. So you don't have to commit right away. You can, I highly recommend testing it out before you spend your money on something. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I still think there's more I could probably learn from it, but how I use it right now works for me. Yeah, no, I agree. I probably would have told myself I needed to write, come up here, and then get distracted on the internet, which is why I went live for accountability. And I still got distracted by yapping, but I also wrote almost 1,000 words. So it's a win-win for me. So yeah, I'd like to schedule in more lives or just do more impromptu like lives whenever I want to write. It's just also fun chatting with you guys. So thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm glad that it was at the perfect time for you today, Meg, because I remember when I did an impromptu one at like 11 a.m. Eastern, and you said that really worked for you. So yeah, I want to also vary the times. So that's exciting. Okay, thanks guys for coming. Hope you guys all got as much out of it as I did, and hope to see you guys soon on the next live stream. I hopefully will do well with tennis. And if you aren't following me on Instagram yet, you can follow me at Mick is Writing. And don't be afraid to hop in the DMs if you want to chat about writing. I'm always down to chat about your own projects. I'd love to hear about your projects. You know, if you guys are looking for beta readers, I'm always open. So just let me know. Hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.